So what I'd like to do is bring on our first caller for the evening. Chris, you are on with IQ and Ethan. How are you?
This is Chris, Greater Pittsburgh.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Chris.
Yes, Ethan and I are mutual members of Atheist v. God Believer Exchanges.
Yeah.
Version 3.
So what do you got for us today?
Yes, I hope in the direct Facebook message you were able to see this. That, well, let's see, a warhorse Christian apologetics, if you will. It's a Google Doc. You know, a Google Doc is not visiting a weblog and I have a section. No, it's more like a
keep in mind
MS.
the audience can't see this Google Doc. So if you could explain what you're calling about.
Yeah, I know. I will.
Awesome.
First of all, yeah, this is so. Trust me that it's you know, I'm not promoting to you a weblog. It's like I said, it's like a Microsoft Word document, but in the Google Cloud. So that's what I shared with you.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to scroll through it too, as I do.
Well, I won't be able to while I'm watching this, but if you could just summarize specifically, okay. Was it a supernatural claim or a ghost story? What is it?
Yeah, I say, you know, the half-truth that the document is a personal supernatural experience. Now, what it is well, the first bishop of Kition, nation-state of Cyprus, present-day Larnaca, and the Bible story of Lazarus of Bethany, the first bishop of, you know, this isn't Israel, Judea that he became bishop in. He sailed, supposedly, it's not in the Bible that he sailed, but he became, after he rose, okay, by Christ's miracle. Okay, I say it's theology places it in uppercase T. Eastern Orthodox, Greek Orthodox tradition, capital T. That, okay, the bishop of this town in Cyprus and Lazarus of Bethany are one and the same person? That's the question. I have a question mark. I'm not stating it. That's a question mark I have in the Google Doc.
Okay, so, sorry. Could you try and get to where you're going with this? Is there a supernatural event?
Yeah, I gave you the dramatic thing that. Yeah, and then there is two sections of some science that this is the story, Lazarus of Bethany, the same person that's become bishop of a town in Cyprus.
So what is the specific claim you would like to talk about?
Yeah, you know, you've heard that the Christian tenet, Jesus is named the God-man. So this is more than just indirect evidence that a God exists.
Oh, great.
A divine Christ, a divine Jesus. Say, I don't like saying Jesus because it just means Joshua. In our church, we usually say Christ. Okay. And then
I'll hold you just for 1 second. So what we're dealing with right here is you have a document that is supplemental to the Bible that does support stories that it says in the Bible. That's pretty much where we're at this point, right?
You caught it. Eastern Orthodox, Greek Orthodox tradition with a capital T. I think if you went to a theology dictionary, they would capitalize Greek Orthodox tradition, capital T. That's how important it is. It could be to theology. It's not the Bible, but it's tradition, capital T. Oral.
Sounds legit. I do capitalize the first letters in my name. So, I mean, we're good so far.
Okay. Here is the heading. I said, with the Bible, which can be circular reasoning, on to science epistemology. Okay. On to the archaeology of Cyprus. An inscription, Christos, Greek for the Hebrew Messiah, is on the sarcophagus of, well, let's say it is the second death, perhaps, of Lazarus in the Bible story. That's in John, the book of John, chapter 11. Yeah. Okay. And potentially his bones are found there. They were found in 890 Common Era. I'm using Common Era instead of AD. You'll laugh with me. All right. Potentially.
Just for clarification, sorry to interrupt, but just for clarification, you said the second death of Lazarus, that after he'd been resurrected and then brought back, and not the Greek philosophical death of when they say
right,
the last time somebody utters your name type second death.
This isn't. Go ahead. File me. I talked over you. IQ.
Oh no, you're good. I was just clarifying like what you meant by the second death.
Oh, you're thinking aloud. Okay. It is. I believe I hold to the tenet. We hold to the tenet that there is a general resurrection, of course.
Okay.
That's why in the Bible, this comes from the Bible. They call Christ the first fruits. That's uppercase F of the resurrection. You could just let's make it more clear with it's parenthetically when it says he's the first fruit.
Do you think?
First fruit,
sorry. I don't want to.
As in like a
Chris.
As like a September harvest.
Chris.
Okay.
If we could kind of get to the gist of what you're trying to say.
Well, IQ asked. I think he was asking his second death. Christ didn't resurrect him, but raised him. Resurrection comes later. Second coming. Okay, there it is. I want to put that in. So yeah, he still was a man. He didn't have an afterlife body. All right. Okay. Potentially DNA analysis of the bones. There's some left on the nation state of Cyprus. I think the crown of his skull is there, but the rest of his bones were the word is translated back to the Greek Orthodox C. We still call the section of Istanbul Constantinople. It was translated back to Constantinople. It means the relics were moved to Constantinople. Bishop. Let's call him Bishop Lazarus. I'm trying.
It sounds like Chris. It kind of sounds like you're trying to tell like a long story. Do you think you can get to the claim, for instance, or the event you're referring to?
There is two parts. I mentioned DNA analysis of the bones. All right.
Okay.
Now, that could be, and I haven't found anything, so it's citation needed that they can DNA analysis see that this person originates from Judea. Okay, we're not going to say you can't. There's no cousins, great cousins of Lazarus you can check it with. All right, today, but no, you might want to see that he is. That these bones are from someone, hopefully, and it'll be on my case, positive to my case, that he's from Judea, not from Cyprus. Okay, and then secondly, I was going to add. Secondly, importantly, I said two sections: geoscience, in terms of limestone and marble patina dating. They also did the same kind of dating with the brother James, the brother of Christ, bone box. They did the same dating. And
when you say they, who's they?
These both date to the 1st century.
Okay, so here's one last time. What I really need you to do is kind of move along to the claim or the instance.
I did finish. I said that. I said that there is 2 things. That's kind of maybe tenuous, dear Ethan. Yeah, thanks. That DNA analysis will point to. Now, then I have the inscription too.
Okay, so what is the DNA analysis of what points to what?
I said relics too many times. I meant to say the bones of Bishop Lazarus of this Cyprus town.
Okay, so
Greek. Okay, I think this is all coming together. So where we're at here is what you're proposing is that there is a set of bones in a particular town, something that is tangible that we can go to, that we do have modern technologies that may be able to link to confirm certain biblical stories. Is that pretty much summarizing what you're talking about?
John chapter 11, the death and raising of Lazarus.
Well, it certainly sounds intriguing. Definitely send Ethan any links that you have to any progressions that come about from this. I see where you're going with it, is that there's something that there may be a lead to something that may confirm a Bible story, but where we're at with this is they're all still stories. And if you can do it, because DNA can just tell you a lot about, because it just compares the DNA to something. You can see, you can read the lines of code and match it to people of a general area. You can say, yes, this person was from here or within this general area, or you can pinpoint a lot of different things with this DNA, but it still doesn't really confirm exactly who it is, because we don't have a DNA match. We don't have Lazarus's DNA to say, yes, this is a confirmed match, you are the father type thing.
That's why I quickly said, and it's true, there is no great cousins who claim to be of Lazarus or Mary and Martha. That's Lazarus's sisters in the Bible, who can claim that they have a lineage. I guess there's no one.
Even let's say, for instance, let's say the DNA does point to this bishop or Lazarus. What do you think? I wouldn't necessarily consider that evidence for God just yet. I would think that was just, hey, we have a DNA that matches someone.
Yeah, best case scenario, they do the DNA test and it says this person is from Judea descent, and okay, cool, we've got a person that is from a certain time period. They can even do matches for when this person typically should have been alive, and yes, we've got a human being from a particular place, from a particular time, but it does nothing to back up the stories.
I have to say a big number 3 that I failed to mention: the inscription. I think I was going to get into the inscription. Okay, the inscription reads, and it's with the patina on it. It dates to the 1st century, so it wasn't a hoax, latter-day hoax. The 4th century. So I'm sorry. The 4th day Lazarus, meaning he rose after 4 days. He rose after 4 days. So they call him with capital F, like a proper name. They call him. The description says the 4th day Lazarus, friend of Christ. That's what the description says, and it dates to the 1st century. Okay. I want to importantly say that number 3. I said there's 2 sections. Actually, there's 3 sections.
Okay. I don't think yet that necessarily equates to a god, because right now, you know, we're just looking at a book, but that's it, and we can't necessarily use the book to prove the book. We need to, you know, verify through independent sources.
I said it would be circular reasoning.
Okay.
Although, hey, next Tuesday I have this, if you allow me, New Testament resurrection, Turin shroud equivalence. Okay.
Ooh.
So that's more heavily epistemology on a resurrected Christ.
All right. Well, yeah. If you could, go ahead.
There's even a time marked video from an MD, PhD, and he's doing a presentation on the shroud, and he's able to zoom in to leaded ball blood marks on the shroud, and they match archaeology digging up these 3-ball, 2-ball leaded balls, whips that they say was used on Christ, Roman whips. They call them flagra. So yeah,
I think you're going to need to save some of that for next week, buddy, because that's a good topic, the Shroud of Turin, and that's something that actually revolves around. I mean, it's supposed to be it was supposed to be wrapped around Christ, so that's something that we can directly go for. I mean, what you're talking about today, I mean, the best case scenario is that it may substantiate somebody's lineage claims. With all the DNA evidence, but the Shroud of Turin, that's a juicy conversation right there. I think you should get some of your data together and really come at us hard with it, because that's a good conversation.
Yeah, awesome, Chris.
Okay,
thanks for calling in.
Just to give a background about me, you know.
Chris, we do have to move on to our next caller.
I'm into college football.
Chris.
And
Chris,
to say that,
excuse me, Chris.
Chris,
Chris.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. We do have to move on to our next caller. So I do appreciate you taking the time to call in.
Here's a light part.
We don't have time for that, Chris. I'm really sorry. Okay, but
save that for next week, buddy. Thanks for calling, though, man.
Have a good day.